Final match of Group G here in the 2022 Concacaf Women's U20 Championship, and it's Canada against Trinidad and Tobago here at Estadio Panamericano in San Cristobal, Dominican Republic. Joe Malfa here with you for this one this evening. Canada already clinched a spot into the round of 16, now looking to ensure that they win the group. All they need to do that is 1 point, and they'll be going for that point in some pretty good conditions. Temperature has cooled off significantly since the first game of the day kicked off here. That one between St. Kitts and Nevis and El Salvador. Kickoff temperature there was near 90, now closer to 80 and dropping as day has become night. And here's a look at those standings. Canada just needing 1 point to break that tie with El Salvador. And Trinidad and Tobago still has hope to get through. They need to beat Canada. You see there, -8 in the goal difference. St. Kitts and Nevis -7 in the goal difference. So all it would take for Trinidad and Tobago is a win over Canada to put them in over St. Kitts and Nevis. But a tall order against a Canadian team that has yet to concede a goal and has outscored opponents 11-0. Teams are gathering in the tunnel, and we're just about set to get things going here in the final match of Group G.
Damas y caballeros, démosle la bienvenida a los equipos nacionales de Canadá y Trinidad y Tobago para el partido de esta noche del Campeonato Femenino Sub-20 de Concacaf. Damas y caballeros, le pedimos ponerse de pie para escuchar el himno nacional de Canadá.
look at the starting 11 for Canada and head coach Cindy Tai. They've scored so far in this tournament 10 goals, and 6 of them are on the bench. So some new faces in there for Canada with this group spot locked up already on top. See what they can do in this one. Anna Karpenko has yet to allow a goal in this tournament. Tatiana Guzman in charge of this one. Alicia Mariscal and Catherine Nesbitt, the 2 assistant referees. And Natalie Simon will be between the technical areas as the 4th official. Jade Rose, the captain for Canada. Maria Francis Sarant, the captain for Trinidad and Tobago, out there for the coin toss. And Maria Francis Sarant, a busy couple of weeks. She just played last week in the W qualifiers for Trinidad and Tobago at the senior level and scored a goal. Reminder, we do have VAR. And a look inside the room. Katia Garcia, Eduardo Galvan are the 2 back there. And now the lineup for Trinidad and Tobago. I mentioned Maria Francis Sarant, not the only player in the starting 11 to be on the bench with the senior team recently. Kyla Walcott in goal has been as well. And Chrissy Mitchell, same deal, was on the bench this past week, yet to make her senior debut. But right now, trying to power the Trinidad team somehow into the round of 16. They lost their first 2 matches. They struggled mightily in those. A 3-0 loss at the hands of El Salvador and a 7-2 loss against St. Kitts and Nevis. How will they respond in this one? They need to beat Canada to make the round of 16. Based on the tiebreakers, they'll have to beat Canada by at least 2 goals to get through. A very tall task. That's why you play the games. Canada looking to lock up the number 1 spot in the group as well. All they need is 1 point to finish ahead of El Salvador, and doing so will guarantee them a matchup in the next round with the Cayman Islands. Awaiting the whistle of Tatiana Guzman now. Sets the watch, blows the whistle, we're underway. Trinidad and Tobago in the red from right to left. Canada in the all-white from left to right. Canada has gotten off to some hot starts in their first 2 games. One of the dominant teams in this region, in this tournament. They were up 6-0 at the half in their opening game against St. Kitts and Nevis. In game 2, El Salvador made them work for it a bit more. Only up 1-0 at the half. Then they had a 15-minute flurry in the second half where they poured in 3. And they made it 4-0 at the match's end. Here's Vanessa Frelick down the right side, finding it open. Simia Wujo. Fed on back to Jade Rose, wearing the captain's armband. Here's a Wujo. Back for Frelick. 2 players in the starting 11 for Canada have goals in this tournament as the foul is called against Dorisha Bristol. Those 2 players are Holly Ward and Sarita Thurton. They each have a pair of goals in this tournament. Holly Ward, the young star at Texas, a goal and an assist in her freshman year there in 22 appearances. Sarita Thurton has appeared in a World Cup at the youth level for Canada before in 2018, the U17 World Cup. That free kick from a distance saved, and the rebound is gathered by Kyla Walcott. Ambitious effort on that one from Florian Jourde. expected to dominate the possession category in this one. In each of their games, they've significantly won the shot battle as well. Total control from a Canadian team that historically has performed at the highest of levels in this tournament. They've won it twice. 3 other occasions they've made the final but lost. And they finished in 4th place twice as well. Last time around in 2020, they were eliminated in the quarterfinal. Down the left flank and guided out for a corner kick after the run from Holly Ward. Bissett delivers the corner, put it in a good area, out to the top of the box for Jord. Oriane Jord still with it, shouts for handball in the box, not initially called. Still alive, the attack for Canada. We'll see if they circle back to that last shout for handball. Played centrally and headed goalward, but saved by Kyla Walcott. Dangerous early from Canada. Trinidad right now on the back foot, everything going Canada's way. Just a calm presence on the ball, which we've seen through 2 games so far, and quickly turning that into attack at a moment's notice. Just like that with an incisive ball, Holly Ward ends up leaving it. Thought she was going to go for it, left it for the corner instead, floated, but out for a goal kick. Bracket beginning to take shape a little bit. In all likelihood, it will be Canada against the Cayman Islands in the next round, United States against Suriname, Mexico against Curacao. The last of the remaining predetermined matchups would feature Bermuda against the winner of Group H. But Group H very much hangs in the balance right now between Haiti and Guatemala, both sitting with 4 points. Here's Mellenhorst, played in front. Chance brewing here for Canada, across the goal and saved at the post, still loose in front, and now the whistle blows. A foul called against Canada. Holly Ward thought she had one. Now the difference for Canada between winning this group and coming in second, which again is still possible if they were to lose in this one, could have El Salvador steal the first spot in the group. The difference there is significant. Instead of facing Cayman Islands, they could end up facing one of the teams that gets out of Group E. And right now, that could either be Puerto Rico or Dominican Republic in that slot. So plenty of incentive here for Canada, but they did rest a number of their top players that we saw put on a show in the first couple games of this tournament. Mia Grant-Clavillo, Michaela Small, Brooklyn Courtnall, and Olivia Smith accounting for 7 of their 11 goals, all on the bench in this one. this tournament all the way back in 2004 and 2008, but not since then, and they haven't been to the final since 2015. All 5 of their trips to the finals happened between 2004 and 2015, an 11-year span. Latifa Pascal doesn't get underneath it, but it takes a good bounce for Trinidad. Dagan couldn't dig it out and find any alleyway forward. Now they go again, Canada. Mellenhorst wanted it streaking down the middle. Here's Jade Rose. 19-year-old, plays at Harvard, along with her goalkeeper, Anna Karpenko. On the right side, just barely kept in by Say. Kyla Walcott very busy in the first 10 minutes. So far, Canada off to a similar start to the one they had against El Salvador. Just biding their time, showing the patience, waiting for that alleyway to open up. Played out wide by Annika Leslie. A number of the players in this Canadian starting lineup right now playing collegiately at the highest levels in the United States in some of the best conferences you have around the country. Karpenko and Rose, teammates at Harvard. Annika Leslie, who played that ball wide a moment ago, plays at West Virginia. Barreling through the middle now. Brewing for Awujo, a star at USC, out in the Pac-12. Awujo. Swarming to the ball, Mellenhorst. And now back. Offed it in the middle toward Thurton. Just missed time to jump. Enough time to keep it in for Sarita Thurton, but plays it out off the left foot for a throw-in. Final match to be played here in Group G. Trinidad and Tobago historically has put on a positive display in this tournament. Not so much this time around. Opened up with a 3-0 loss against El Salvador. Had a chance to get back on track against a St. Kitts and Nevis team that didn't really know what to expect out of after losing 7-0 against Canada. And it could have very well been much more than 7-0. Canada eased off in the second half. They were up 6-0 at the break. That St. Kitts and Nevis team came out and beat Trinidad and Tobago 7-2 in that next game. That's where Trinidad is left right now. A goal difference of -8 after 2 losses to start things off. In a game that went sideways very quickly for Trinidad and Tobago. For as tough as they played El Salvador, next thing they knew, they were down 4-0 in the first half an hour against St. Kitts and Nevis. And they were down 5-0 at the half. They've been to the Final Four of this tournament in the past. They've hosted this tournament in the past. And with the group draw they had against an El Salvador side that has just once ever made it out of the group stage, and against a St. Kitts and Nevis side that has never made it out of the group stage, We like Trinidad and Tobago's chances to have advanced. They made it to the quarterfinal just 2 years ago. But a totally different tone around the team this time around. Now needing to pull off a massive upset of Canada to get through to the next phase. Here's Simia Wujo. Great ball out wide, finds Sturton. Holly Ward camping out, top of the 6, waiting for the delivery. Now it's Say. Elizabeth Say to the end line, puts it toward Ward off the post. She was waiting for it the whole time. Pleading her case for a corner. Let's take another look at it. To the naked eye, at first, seemed like it hit the post, but on second look, it come off the left leg of Kyla Walcott. Sometimes you can let the body language of the players dictate the call, and even Trinidad was getting set to defend a corner and surprised themselves that the call was goal kick. Canada gets right back to it anyway as we approach the quarter-hour mark. Mellenhorst feeds wide to Vivienne Bissett. Now Simia Wujo. 2 goals, 2 assists last year at USC. Wujo played for the United States as recently as in 2020 on the U17 squad, but made the switch over to Canada. Here's Ward. So far, 5 shots to none in favor of Canada. And all the way back it goes to Karpenko. Ward again. Now Wujo. Vivienne Bissett, all conference in the American Conference last year, playing for USF. Another one of those players who did not play for Canada until the U20 level. Bissett played with Bulgaria at U17 and U19. Too heavy of a first touch on that one from Elizabeth Say. Just kept in on the sideline by Darianne Henry, but immediately lost. Here's Mellenhorst. Now Wujo. Pocket of space was discovered by Vanessa Frelli, but the pass intercepted. Well read by Sharella Mendez. Here's Wilson Campbell. Shante Wilson Campbell, 19 years of age. Has been in the picture for the senior team, but yet to appear. Bissett. Wujo a look over the shoulder. Ward tried to give and go. A lot of the plays dictated up the middle through Wujo. Looking for Ward. A deflection. Sent back that way toward Thurton. Long run for Elizabeth Say to close in. Took her eye off the ball for a moment. And just regathers by playing it on back to the captain, Jade Rose. The 2020 Canadian Youth Female Player of the Year, Jade Rose. Played in the U20 tournament back in 2020 as well for Canada. So the captain in the middle of that defense, making her second appearance in this tournament. Played up. On the side to Say. Elizabeth Say puts it in front. Ward misses. Comes through the backside for Wujo, saved off the line. Back to Say. Ward leaves it, and nobody wanted it. miscommunication there. Ward dummied it through, hoping for a teammate to get there. And they all just looked at each other. Mellenhorst. That deflects. Out for a corner kick. Florian Jord down there in the corner. Grew up playing hockey, Florian Jord, before picking soccer and sticking to it. Bassett to Awujo, and back again. Good delivery for Ward. Here's Say. Vanessa Frelli. Say deflects through toward Ward. And cleared away by Dagan. From a ways away, diving save is made by Walcott. Vivienne Bassett tried her luck. She wanted that one the whole way, looking up. It's left there for Bassett. Jord the strike. Save is made. Rebound is loose. And a big rebound. And Walcott gets there. Players down, holding their heads after that clash. Here's another look at it. Ooh. Monisa Mejias for Trinidad. Sarita Thurton for Canada. Full on head-to-head collision. We'll resume with a drop ball. Keep an eye on those two players. And then return, hopefully, to the pitch. Up and ready there. You just saw at the bottom of your screen, Mejias for Trinidad. Still some more attention being paid at the bottom left of your screen to Sarita Thurton. That's over the shoulder by Vanessa Frelli. Notice she had some space, goes back to Awujo. And now wide for Bassett. Corner on the way for Canada. There she is, striding back in, Sarita Thurton. Good to see her back to the action. Out there as well, Monisa Mejias for Trinidad and Tobago. Bassett, center of the area. A fumble from the goalkeeper, Walcott. Out for a goal kick. 7 shots to none in favor of Canada. Yet to find the breakthrough. Now for Canada, officially the longest they've gone into a game without taking the lead in this tournament. Out wide for Say. Elizabeth Say's delivery in front. Ward got it off the chest. Canada continues play with the player down for Trinidad. Not stopping. Loading it toward the back post and out of play. So now the attention can be paid to Sharella Mendez. Mendez looking at her right knee. Jason Spence trying to wilt Trinidad on. They've embraced this challenge so far, it appears. Taking Canada deeper into this game than some other teams have without conceding. Trinidad must win in order to have a chance to go on to the next round. They'd have to do so by at least 2 goals. A 1-0 win would level them on goal difference, but they'd be behind in goals scored at St. Kitts and Nevis. Play to the end line. Now inside to Ward. Ward strike over the bar. 25 minutes have come and gone. Still scoreless between Canada and Trinidad and Tobago. Joe Malfa here with you at Estadio Panamericano in San Cristobal, Dominican Republic. Group G action. The last match of Group G play. The knockout phase is on the horizon. The winner of Group G will face, in the next round, Cayman Islands. Second place of Group G will face third place of Group E. And at this point, let's go on to face the second place team of Group E. And that Group E features the United States, Dominican Republic, and Puerto Rico. So as it stands, you'd have Canada against the Cayman Islands, El Salvador against Puerto Rico. And then you'd have Dominican Republic facing St. Kitts and Nevis. Here's Mellenhorst striding through. Mellenhorst on the left foot, never found a place to shoot it. Taken down, no call. Second time we've had a shout for a penalty now from Canada. Both cries went unanswered. Say misread it. Stepped forward, and the skip took it on by. Here's a look back at that last challenge in the box. Plenty of contact there. Will VAR give it a look? Play is being held up right now. Tatiana Guzman waiting to hear from VAR officials as to whether or not she needs to go over and take a look at it herself on the monitor. Watching it live, I thought it was a penalty. Watching it on the replay, it was clearly a case for it to be a penalty. But will it be a penalty? As of now, it's a throw-in for Trinidad and Tobago, pending the thumbs up or down from Katia Garcia and Eduardo Galvan in the VAR booth. Check complete, no penalty. Play on. All the Trinidad players clapping it up after the call was made. Will that give them a spark to try and come to life here? Possession has been dominated by Canada. You could probably count on one hand the amount of touches Trinidad has taken in the attacking half of this game. Jade Rose, heavy touch in the middle by Thurton. Kept alive on the shot, deflected wide. Oriane Jourde got the shot off. Kyla Walcott has already come up with a few big saves in this one for Trinidad. 8 shots, 2 on target, both saved by Walcott. Say in space. Elizabeth Say still with it, looks goalward. Half an hour has come and gone. Canada still without a goal, the longest they've gone without a goal in this tournament. Tarisha Bristol shouting over to the bench, bring out some Gatorade. You can hear her from the sideline saying that Monisa Mejias feeling a bit dehydrated and dizzy. You do just hope that it is a case of her needing some fluids. Remember, she was in that head-to-head collision 15 minutes ago with Sarita Thurton and had her come off the field momentarily.
You guys can back up this way, and send her to me when she's ready, okay? Is she gonna be okay? Yeah. Okay.
Taken back by Canada, but a heavy touch from Awujo. Canada not as crisp as we've seen them in the first couple of games. Wonder if it has to do with the number of lineup changes we've seen. Again, they have clinched their spot in the next round, and for all intents and purposes, they have clinched the number 1 spot in this group. They are up 7 goals on El Salvador, so it would take an 8-0 Trinidad win for Canada not to emerge as the winners of Group G. Always want to be clicking on all cylinders going into that next round. Each knockout game, of course, could be your last. They have the favorable draw of playing Cayman Islands. Thurton couldn't find a white jersey. Now she does. Mellenhorst wanted to turn and fire immediately. Now she does. And it was blocked by a sliding defender. Oh, is that Mejias again? It is. She just came back after going off the field to get the fluids. Now this is the second time she's been down with a head injury. Not as unlucky of a first 32 minutes as you can have when it comes to injuries without actually coming out of the game for Monisa Mejias. Players used it to their advantage. Go over for a quick hydration break on the sideline. Twelve teams have already punched a ticket into the knockout round. At the end of this game, we'll know at least one more. Will it be Trinidad pulling off the upset of Canada and finding a way through? Or will it be St. Kitts and Nevis as the 13th team in? In the other game going on right now, United States taking on Dominican Republic. That game has no bearing on another team joining the ranks of the qualified teams. Both of those sides have already mathematically qualified for the next round. So there would be 3 more spots up for grabs going into the final match day of group play. Here's Mellenhorst, stumbles at the edge of the area. And with what's left to be decided, all eyes will be on Group F. Group H has 2 teams qualified already, Haiti and Guatemala. And realistically, there isn't a path forward for Cuba. It'll be Jamaica who ends up as that 3rd team. Again, just not set in stone yet. Mathematically, Cuba's still alive. Realistically, not so much so. So Jamaica would be that team. But in the other group that features Mexico, as the handball is called here against Trinidad. Right now, Guyana on 3 points, Honduras on 1, Panama on 1. All of those teams very much alive going into the final day. Now, the team with the toughest path forward is Honduras, by virtue of taking on Mexico. So you would imagine Guyana would end up through at the very least. But when it comes to Honduras and Panama, those 2 teams right now a point each. Honduras better in goal difference by just 1 goal. So it might come down to which team loses by less against Guyana and Mexico to determine that 3rd spot in Group F. Canada from this free kick trying to get that breakthrough that has eluded them for 35 minutes and counting. Previously in this tournament, in the first 2 games, the longest they went without an opening goal was 26 minutes. 10 minutes past that now.
Yes, yes. If it come in there, it's you. If it come in there, it's you, Chief.
Florian Jordan looking as if she might want to go for goal here. Wide open, top of the box, Vanessa Frelet. It is passed across and shot. Save made by Walcott. Looked like it was going wide anyway on the strike from Bissett, but not taking any chances, out for a corner kick. Bissett from the corner. Ward was there. Header is on by Thurton, still loose in front, and Ward puts it home. On the scramble in front in the 37th minute, Canada finds its breakthrough. And for Ward, it's a 3rd goal in the tournament, putting her 1 off the pace of the Golden Boot at the moment. It was only a matter of time. 10 shots to nothing for Canada in the first 36 minutes. You can count on one hand the amount of touches Trinidad has had in the attacking half. Pressure was mounting, and finally, Ward poaches one. Molly Ward attended 3 U17 camps in 2019 for Canada. Finally has found a way into the team, and a big role at that. it in. Jord battling for it. Here's Say. Nice move by Elizabeth Say. A good defensive posture maintained by Darianne Henry. On the 11th team shot in the 37th minute, Canada finally broke through. And for Trinidad's hopes at finding a way through to the round of 16, they need to turn this 1-0 deficit into, at the very least, a 3-1 win. Under pressure immediately after that goal kick. Poor clearance attempt. Keeps it alive for Canada. First, second, and third place finishers in this tournament will qualify for the World Cup in August. Canada always figures to be one of those teams. That shot seemed like it was going toward the far post. Blocked in front. Now Ward. Awujo out wide for Bissett. Lofted centrally. Mellenhorst is there, takes a touch. I don't think she knew that defender was on her back. Otherwise, she might have opted for a header or a first-time volley.
Come on, guys, stay focused, stay focused. It's close, it's close.
I believe play is being held up once again for some sort of VAR check. Hasn't yet been communicated to us what exactly is being looked at. Whatever it was not worth the time to go over to the monitor and look at it for Tatiana Guzman. Space for Frelick. Now Florian Jord threads it through. Ward stumbles. Teams have been losing their footing in that area of the box all day today. In that first game between El Salvador and St. Kitts and Nevis, and now Canada down at that end as well. A lot of games have been played on this field in a short time. Grounds crew has done a terrific job of keeping the pitch as good of shape as possible. Maybe the overactivity catching up just a tad. Chopped up in the box area. Turn into space and the strike blocked down top of the box from Awujo. Flag up for offside on Canada. They did not partake in the first ever edition of this tournament back in 2002. But since then, they've won it twice. 3 times have come in second. And there's the look at the offside. Canada's best stretch came from 2004 to 2012. They made 4 out of the 5 finals that were played. They won 2, they lost 2. And in 2010, the lone year, they didn't make it in that stretch. They came in 4th. Did not make the tournament in 2014. But 2015, they came in 2nd once again. and in 2018, he came in 4th. He made it to the quarterfinal in 2020, though, Canada. Hoping to best that this time around. In that 2020 tournament, Canada, they came in 2nd in their group behind Jamaica. And then in the knockout phases, Canada, as a result of that, they ended up against the United States in the quarterfinals. Had they won their group, which is typically expected of Canada, they would not have faced the United States until the semifinal. But they went on instead to be bounced by the United States in the quarters. Awujo gets back to it. Now a much calmer pass to Mellenhorst this time. Mellenhorst taken down. Prime real estate now for a free kick at the stroke of 45 here for Canada. You wait word on stoppage time. There it is, 5 minutes. Just a 1 goal to show for their efforts here in the first half, but a chance to add another. If you could pick exactly where you want a free kick to be taken from, this is probably the spot you'd take. A few yards outside of the box, just about straight on. Enough room to get it over the wall, but back under the crossbar. And being dead center, keep the goalkeeper guessing. It could go left or right. They have 2 players standing over it. Will they make it count? Who will it be? Taken quickly. Strike is deflected and wide for a corner from Florian Jord. Interesting not going for that one directly. That pass across from Bissett allowed the wall to close in on Jord and led to that deflection. Just another look at it. Players came flying in, and the first touch really popped it up on Jord as well. Now from the corner. No white jersey in the area. And guided away by Mejias. Thurton knocks it out. Awujo takes the space. Great ball out wide to Elizabeth Say. Here's Say into the area now. We've seen her cut to her left a bunch in this game, and Trinidad was ready for it. A bit predictable on that move. Mellenhorst knocked out by Maria Francis Sarant. Nice move by Jade Rose. Plenty of space. Picks up the head, sends it for the box. Ward takes it down. Lays it off for Mellenhorst. Mellenhorst, great save, rebound. Ward, a heavy touch, and it's saved again by Walcott. If not for the efforts of Kyla Walcott, what would the scoreline be? 8 saves now after that little flurry. Great pass slotted through right here by Ward. Put Mellenhorst in. Just a heavy first touch after the rebound from Ward. Took it away from her and allowed Walcott to slap it away. Ran into the post, Holly Ward. Almost had her second poached goal of the match. Off of a rebound like that in front. Goal scorer's mentality, finding the right spaces. Just couldn't find the right touch on that one. Short corner to Bissett. Awujo, top of the box. Jord dodges the defender, takes a shot, deflected out wide toward the end line. And another corner on the way. Final minute of first half stoppage time. Bissett once more. Good delivery here. Elizabeth Say crashes in. Just missed it. And then the handball against Ward. As soon as this ball is put back into play, you imagine the halftime whistle will blow. A lot of opportunities left out there for Canada. 15 shots to nothing. It's going to be at the break. Trinidad still clinging to some hope. They need to win this 3-1 in order to get through. Canada, at the moment, a lock to win the group here in Group G. The goal came from Ward in the 37th, and that's the only scoring right now. Canada bombarding Trinidad 15 shots to nothing, but only 1-0 on the scoreboard. We're back in a moment.
es una mujer.
The first half largely controlled by Canada, but narrow margin on the scoreboard. Just 1-0 in favor of the Canadians. They were all over Trinidad and Tobago from the get-go in this one. 15 shots to nothing. The final tally at the end of the half. The most dangerous player on the field for Canada all first half was Holly Ward. She had a couple of early chances, and she went away for a little bit. She's been finding those pockets of space in the box that have made her dangerous on second chance opportunities. And here, Thurton the header, and Ward pounces on it to get her goal. She had 4 really good scoring opportunities in the half and put this one away for her third of the tournament for the 18-year-old who is heading into her sophomore year at Texas. Helped coach a Vancouver youth team recently, so she's seeing it from a coach's perspective and giving her a better view of the game as well. Maybe that's helping her find some of these spots here. Distributes and then follows in for the rebound, but just a heavy touch takes her wide. Otherwise, she might have had her second of the game. It's all Canada right now. 15 shots to nothing and 1 goal to nothing for a game that they need to win or tie to clinch first place in the group. Trinidad and Tobago still have a chance to advance to the next round. They need to win this game by at least 2 goals, which would mean getting this up to at least 3-1. But right now, not in their favor, the statistics. 15 shots to nothing, 7 corners to nothing, and 70-30 in possession, all adding up to that 1-0 scoreline for Canada at the moment. We're back in just a few moments with half number 2.
Concacaf, patrocinador orgulloso del Campeonato Sub-20 Femenino de Concacaf 2022. Porque el fútbol inspira a niños y transforma el futuro. Sigue Concacaf Fútbol Club en Facebook para conocer más de nuestras iniciativas en torno al fútbol. El juego de fútbol es universal. Todas las niñas y mujeres merecen la oportunidad de
Set to begin half number 2. Canada in white from right to left. Trinidad and Tobago in the red from left to right. Trinidad down 1-0. They need to win at least 3-1 at this stage to advance into the knockout round. And we're already seeing some subs out there for Canada, up just 1-0 in the first half. Maya Grant Clavijo enters. There's Grant Clavijo. 1 goal already in the tournament. Second half underway from Estadio Panamericano in San Cristobal, Dominican Republic. Final match of Group G. Joe Malfa here with you. A 1-0 lead for Canada on their way to winning this group and locking up a meeting with the Cayman Islands in the next round. It was Simi Awujo who came out for Grant Clavijo. Also Courtnall in for Say. Brooklyn Courtnall also with 1 goal in the tournament. And as you top of the broadcast, Canada mixing up the lineup a bit with everything pretty much secured as far as their status in the next round. 7 of their 11 goals began this game on the bench, just 4 out there. Now 2 more enter the fray. The team's leading scorer, Olivia Smith, still on the bench, as is Nikayla Small, who had 2 goals in the first 2 matches. Possession metric read 70-30 Canada at halftime. Certainly felt like more, and that has a lot to do with where they've had that possession versus where some of Trinidad's possession has come. There hasn't been any sustained attack from Trinidad. You have to really think hard about it to even remember when they've had touches in the attacking half. Total dominance from Canada in terms of this one, everywhere but the scoreboard. We'll see if those come in the second half. Courtnall out to Thurton. Played in front, taken down in front, and save is made on a very weak shot. Corianne Jord did not catch all of it. Kyla Walcott, I think she had another save. 8 saves for Walcott. Here's Rose. Vanessa Frelit plays it on back for Bissett, who has taken a few shots from a ways away. That time she was closed down quickly enough where she was forced to lay it off. Good ball across, and the header is perfect to make it 2-0 Canada. Great ball in from Annika Leslie, and an inch-perfect header from Serena Thurton. Third goal of the tournament for Thurton. Just found a pocket of space, all the time on that one. Now also just one goal off the Golden Boot race, along with her teammates Holly Ward and Olivia Smith. Miscommunication at the back. Mejias just let her be. And just like that, Canada 2, Trinidad 0. Sent back Thurton's way, but too far. Maybe a bit of an anomaly. Canada only scored 1 in the first half with the way the stats lined up in their favor. Space opening up for Jord. Still Jord. It falls for Ward toward the end line. That one last off of Ward for a goal kick. Cindy Chai, the head coach for Canada. 6 appearances she made at the senior level before getting into coaching. Guiding this team through this tournament and hoping to qualify for August World Cup. Now with the way the draw occurred, Canada will have to face the United States if all goes according to the expectations in the semifinal. And that's important because the 2 teams who make the final automatically qualify for the World Cup. You have to win the 3rd place match if you lose in the semifinal in order to get through. 1st, 2nd, and 3rd make it to the World Cup. So if you're Canada, you would have hoped to be on the opposite side of the bracket as the United States. Mexico has been a very formidable team so far in this tournament. They've always been very strong every other year in this tournament, but maybe not quite up to the cut of Canada historically. We pegged the U.S. first, Canada second, and Mexico third historically. So if you're Canada, you would have hoped to be on Mexico's side, maybe a bit easier of a matchup than playing the United States. Ball in here toward Ward, skimmed off the top of her head. Leslie puts it back in front, turning Jord, and it's blocked down on the shot from Rose out for a corner. If you're Canada, you might have hoped to be on the side that featured Mexico. That gives you maybe a little bit better of a chance in that semifinal. Not that Mexico is by any means an easy opponent. Again, inarguably the top 3 there with United States, Canada, and Mexico. So if you're Canada, you'd have to pull the upset of the United States, or you'd have to wait and see who you get in the 3rd place game. Sent toward Ward, in front instead it's Rose heading it wide. Historically, every year in this tournament, there has been a surprise team to make that run to the Final Four. U.S., Canada, Mexico always seem to be there. But the team that has always joined them, that has been a revolving door. Costa Rica has done it the most. They've done it 4 times. However, Costa Rica not in this tournament. That one from distance, topped over the bar by Walcott. Costa Rica not in this tournament because they are hosts of the World Cup. They automatically qualified. Another look there as Walcott pops it over. So outside of Costa Rica's 4 appearances in the semifinal, you've got 1 for Jamaica, 1 for Panama, 1 for Trinidad, 1 for Honduras, 1 for Dominican Republic, and 2 for Haiti. A revolving door, that 4th team. Bissett from the corner in front. Ward is there, and it's cleared away. Now Jord takes a deflection. It'll be yet another corner. And I make note of that revolving door as the 4th team, because if Canada were to stumble against the United States in that semifinal, and Mexico holds true to form and makes it to the final on the other side of the bracket, the question would be, who is that other 4th team in there that Canada would play in the 3rd place game with a trip to the World Cup on the line? Some of the teams that come to mind based on the way they've played so far in this tournament, you have to look down to Group H. Haiti and Guatemala have looked equally strong, and they are currently tied atop that group. We'll have to wait and see who wins that group. El Salvador in this group has turned some heads. Big wins over Trinidad and St. Kitts. However, Canada did already take them down 4-0, but it was a very tightly contested game. They didn't pull away until the end of that one, Canada. Only 1-0 at the half, but 2 goals in the final half an hour then to make it 4-0 after they scored Canada early on in that 2nd half. Opens up for Mellenhorst. Never got it elevated. Easy save for Walcott. All teams now competing for a chance to make it to the World Cup this summer. Costa Rica, the hosts. It'll take place in August. 4 representatives from Concacaf will be there. Top 3 finishers of this tournament, plus Costa Rica. Nice move in front. Grant Clavijo on the give from Jordan. Concacaf teams have acquitted themselves well at the U20 World Cup historically. The first ever U20 World Cup. The final was contested between the U.S. and Canada back in 2002. Mellenhorst, that shot better than the last, and it's good to make it 3-0 Canada. It opened up for her a moment ago for a strike from distance that she put on the ground, and Walcott saved easily. This one rifled to the top corner. And as we approach the hour mark, a 3rd goal for Canada. Walcott got the slightest of touches to it, but too much power on that one. A 1st of the tournament. Plays collegiately at Oklahoma. 20 appearances, 16 starts as a freshman. At that U20 World Cup, the United States 3-time winners and 3 times runners-up. A feather in the cap of Concacaf. No recent U20 World Cup was played in 2018. France was the host. And they came in 4th place, losing to England in the 3rd place match on penalties. A tournament won by Japan. It was a new winner back in 2018. Prior to that, only 3 nations had combined to lift the trophy. 3-time champions, the United States, 3-time champion Germany, and 2-time champion North Korea. Played out wide. Chance to run onto it for Rose. Played in front. Here's Frelly. Now Bassett. On the left side, room for Leslie. Touched by the defender, Leslie. Out for a goal kick. Good defensive play made by Latifa Pascal. But she paid for it, holding that left leg. Canada now up to 24 shots. Have to commend the efforts of Michaela Walcott in goal. Of those 24 shots, 12 have been on target. 9 saves have been made. And now some changes on the way for Canada with a 3-goal lead. Kayla Novak entering the match, as is Mia Ponte. Holly Ward exits for Kayla Novak, leaving with 3 goals in the group stage. Holly Ward, 1 off the pace of the Golden Boot race. And Jade Rose, the captain, gives way to Mia Ponte. Kayla Novak now attending UCLA. She appeared in the last edition of the U20 Championship back in 2020 for Canada. Scored 1 goal in 3 starts. And she was on the Pac-12 all-freshman team last year. Sent her way. And Novak nearly getting on the score sheet immediately. Mia Ponte on the back line. One of the more promising athletes in the pipeline here for Canada. SEC all-freshman team last year and was 4th in the SEC in assists as a defender. Let me clarify there, 4th in assists among all players. I say as a defender, meaning from her position, not 4th in assists among defensive players. 4th in assists among all players. Impressive to do that as a defender. Shows the depth of this Canadian team and the talent they have throughout. You bring off your captain, you bring off one of your leading goal scorers, and you bring those 2 in. At the senior level, the reigning Olympic gold medalists. And at the youth ranks, a lot of talent. Leslie now with the captain's armband. And Canada's success, a testament to the fact that the game continues to grow worldwide for the women. It's no longer the likes of the US and Germany just dominating year in, year out, as was the case early on in the first few World Cups and Olympic Games. Laid off here for a shot, and that is 4 for Canada. Florian Jord finds the top corner on that blast. This one falls right to Jordan on the assist from Maya Grant Clavijo. Deft little touch there from Grant Clavijo. Terrific finish from Florian Jord. Scores her first goal of the tournament. And does so in style. What will the final score end up at in this game? That's the question now. Tamia St. Clair enters the match for Trinidad. Canada struggled to score in the first half, just 1 goal, but already 3 in 20 minutes here in half number 2.
Now that you said you need to move, I cannot. Like, I literally cannot. All right, wait, starting point here. Let's go. I feel like I just warmed up. All the way back.
Bissett ends up putting it on goal. I think that's what she had in mind. Just barely kept in by Sarant. Haven't called her name in this one. The captain for Trinidad played last week in the W qualifiers at the senior level. Scored a goal in one of those 2 games. Long run for Novak. She gets there, touches it wide. Novak puts it goalward, but wrong side of the post. Delayed flag did come up, though. Remember now, with VAR at the disposal of the officials, the assistant referees coached to keep the flag down and let the attack play out. Here's Sarant.
Hey, hey. Eso no me dio una atención.
Here's Vanessa Frelick. And she get in on the goal scoring party. All the way up to get that one. Anna Karpenko, can't blame her. She wants to have some involvement in this one. Relegated to the role of a spectator in this one for the Harvard student. Karpenko hasn't had to do much of anything in this tournament. Canada yet to allow a goal. She hasn't been tested much in any of the games. Left eye of Sarant in question at the moment. Got something in it. Lifted in for Mellenhorst. Just over 20 minutes to go in this one. Canada will be the group winners here in Group G. United States right now a 5-0 lead over Dominican Republic. The only question right now for Canada and the United States is which of the two will finish with a better track record in the group stage. As far as goal difference, doesn't have any implication on anything aside from the fact of bragging rights. Right now, the United States, through nearly 3 games, outscoring opponents 18-0. And for Canada, it's 16-0. Those two always juxtaposed and seemingly in a race against each other here in a lot of these Concacaf tournaments. But the rest of Concacaf very quickly catching up, especially at the senior level. Canada just won, of course, the gold medal in the Olympics. Mexico hasn't been noted as a power in the senior level, but just this past November, Mexico beat Canada in a friendly and then drew them a couple nights later. As part of Canada's victory tour after winning the Olympic gold. A lot of the other nations quickly catching up at both the senior and youth ranks. The Canadian side, as I mentioned, that they've been successful in this tournament. Last time around, only made it to the quarterfinal. They lost to the United States in that quarterfinal after Jamaica won that group. Chance here brewing again for Canada. Into the hands of Walcott. Mellenhorst already 1 goal on the day, 1 on the tournament. Of Canada's 27 shots now have been on target. 10 have resulted in Walcott saves. I have to commend her for her efforts in this one. Under constant fire, has risen to the occasion with a number of terrific saves. Florian Jord test Walcott again. Will it be a cross? Jord has taken a few strikes from distance and scored 1 of them in this game. Plays it wide instead to Thurton. Cross toward the back post. Ends up just drifting over the crossbar. Thurton scored the goal-scoring barrage in this second half. A few minutes into the half, the header on the far side of the 6-yard box, wide open as she snuck between 2 defenders. Mellenhorst still battling for it. Sends it Thurton's way, and it squirts all the way through, but no white jersey on the back end. Leslie. Yelanica Leslie, already 1 assist on the day. Floats that one goalward and cast aside. Courtnall. Now out wide from Grant Clavijo. Leslie plays on back. Here's Bissett. Courtnall. Now Frelly. Grant Clavijo has made an impact since coming in as a sub at the halftime break. Grant Clavijo came in and notched an assist. More changes on the way. Olivia Smith, the team's leading scorer coming into the day, got the night off, at least until now. Will come in for Sarita Thurton. Coming into the day, Smith had 3 goals. Ward had 2, Thurton had 2. Now they have a trio of players with a trio of goals. Olivia Smith is committed to Florida State, the reigning national champions, one of the top programs in the country. Immediately sent her way. Canada just controlling the possession now. Ready to get this one across the finish line. A successful group stage effort. Their next challenge will be the Cayman Islands in the round of 16. And from there, they will face the winner of the match between Group G's second place team and Group E's third place team. So for Canada, here as the potential winners of Group G, could be a rematch in that quarterfinal with El Salvador, who they already beat once by a score of 4-0. Been a lot of that for Trinidad. Just trying to clear it forward, hoping somebody can latch onto it. If there was a heat map available for this game, the attacking half for Canada would be about as red as Trinidad's kits in this one. All of this game played on that front foot for Canada. Here they go again. Grant Clavijo has some space. Grant Clavijo did not have the proper shot on it. Here's Smith in the Novak. Contact, edge of the area. Free kick on the way for Canada. Lydia Smith being instructed to take it from the sideline. Tough angle for Olivia Smith with the right foot from that area just outside the box. Well, looks like she wants to have a go at goal. Strikes it over the bar. And Walcott signaling to the sideline. Some pain looking at that right leg. Rest of the players use this as an opportunity to gather themselves in the final moments. Canada out shooting Trinidad 32-0. It's something Trinidad has struggled with in each of their matches in this tournament. They allowed 64 shots combined in the first two games. That's an average of 32 a game, so right on that number now, 32 shots allowed. But something tells me in the next few minutes, Canada will go above that number. Olivia Smith still with it. More contact into the area. Another free kick on the way for Canada. Smith draws it, and I imagine Smith will take it. Canada in that first game against El Salvador, they won it by this same 4-0 scoreline, but it was a much different game. Shots in that game were 12-11 in favor of Canada. I bring that up because at this stage, it's looking like El Salvador might be the most likely potential quarterfinal opponent for Canada. So we could see a rematch there. And El Salvador may build some confidence after that result. They hung in there the whole way. Only 1-0 at the half. Statistically, a very even matchup. Here's Smith from outside the area. Save made, rebound in front. Saved again by Walcott. And the flag now goes up for offside. Add 2 more saves to her tally. The bright spot in this one for Trinidad. Shots number 33 and 34 in the match. 19 of them have been on target. That means 15 have been saved by Walcott. And this one she just got with her face. Got back up into position. Got in the way of it any way you can. 15 saves for Walcott. This is not even Canada's most dominating performance of the group stage. And they've been in total control. They won 7-0 against St. Kitts and Nevis and outshot them 54-1 last game. So in the last 2 games for Canada, outshooting the opposition by a combined 88-1. That is unfathomable. But the one team they had to fight a bit more against, El Salvador, the team they at this stage seem to be most likely set to play in the quarterfinal. They've got to, of course, get through the Cayman Islands in a round of 16. Historically, that should also not be much of an issue for Canada. What will be a bit tougher is El Salvador getting through its match in the next round. This one falls through for Smith and goes wide. El Salvador has just once ever made it out of the group stage in this tournament. That came back in 2020, and they lost in the round of 16. They will face Puerto Rico in the round of 16. El Salvador, the better of the 2 sides in the group stage, but of course you're not grading on the same scale, going up against different opponents in different groups. But just in terms of the eye test, El Salvador the better of those 2 teams. That's my mistake. I had that backwards. They're lined up to play Dominican Republic, El Salvador. No easy task going up against the hosts. So it'll be a bit tougher for El Salvador to get through to the quarterfinal. You imagine Canada will just as easily take care of the Cayman Islands as they have dispatched of Trinidad and Tobago and St. Kitts and Nevis. So if we get that rematch, all eyes will certainly be on that. That first game certainly gave El Salvador a bit of hope. I just read you that stat. In the last 2 games, Canada outshooting opponents a combined 88-1. But in that game against El Salvador, it was 12-11. It was just 1-0 on the scoreboard at the half. And they scored 2 goals later on in that game, Canada, after they got one right out of the halftime break. So it was 2-0 for a while there in the second half before they made it 3 and then 4-0. So the scoreline does not indicate how close that game against El Salvador actually was. And now El Salvador will have the confidence of 2, possibly 3 wins if they get there. 2 wins in the group stage against St. Kitts and Nevis and this Trinidad and Tobago squad. And potentially a victory over the host nation, Dominican Republic. Ball lofted in towards Smith off the post. Still alive in front. Smith gets another touch to it now, headed home by Novak. In the 90th minute, Canada makes it 5. Loose in front. Novak finally finds it. Now for Novak, that makes it 2 separate Concacaf Women's Under-20 Championships that she's scored in. Had 3 starts back in 2020 and scored a goal. And now in her 3rd appearance here, she goes ahead and gets another. So 2 different tournaments that she's now scored in. 2 minutes of stoppage time. Here's Smith. Is there a 6th in the cards for Canada? Smith. Walcott makes the save and dispatches of the rebound. Canada treating this like they need a 6 to advance. Final whistle on its way any moment. .38 shots for Canada, 0 for Trinidad. Final whistle is blown. Canada wins 5-0, and they win Group G with a perfect record of 3 wins, no losses, no draws, outscoring teams a combined 16-0. They're on their way to the round of 16. Trinidad is officially eliminated in this one. That means St. Kitts and Nevis makes it to the round of 16 for the first ever time in their history. But on this night, Canada 5, Trinidad nothing.
We are with player number 7, Florian Jourde from Canada. First goal achieved, qualifying to the next round. What needs to be to improve to be successful in the round of 16?
I think we have to keep going the rhythm that we have. We had a really good performance the last 3 games, and we have to keep going, and it's going to be good for the rest of the tournament.
Today you scored a really nice goal. How do you feel about that?
I feel good. I was a bit frustrated the first 2 games, but now I'm ready for the next round, and let's keep going.
Thank you. We are with player number 1 from Trinidad, Akila Walcott. Akila, despite the result, you have some great saves today. How do you feel about your performance?
I'm proud of my performance today. Last game wasn't too good for me, so this was very important to me to perform well today. So yeah, I'm very proud of my performance.
What lessons do you think the team gets from participating on this tournament?
Well, most of the players here, this is their first international tournament, so this is a very good learning experience for each of us here. Most of us, it's our last Under-20, so we're just grateful for the opportunity and thankful to be here regardless.
Thank you.
All Canada in this one against Trinidad and Tobago. Only 1-0 at the end of the first half. The goal came from Ward. She had a few opportunities to convert, and then finally did on a loose ball in front. Credit to Akila Walcott in this game. She kept it as close as it actually was at 5-0. Of the 38 shots Canada took, 20 of them were on target. 15 saves for Walcott in this one. Here was that first goal on the breakthrough for Ward. In the second half, a much different story. Canada maintained their pressure that they had throughout the first half. They just started putting chances away more. And it happened early on as well. Just 4 minutes into the half, Sarita Thurton found a crease in the 6th. And she headed that one home. And then from there, it was just every few minutes in the early stages of the half for Canada. Thurton in the 49th, Mellenhorst in the 58th, Jourde in the 64th. 3 goals in 15 minutes for Canada to put this one well out of reach. The next one belonged to Mellenhorst. He had his space at the top of the box, and she put it in the top corner. Walcott got a fingertip to it, but the power on the shot from Mellenhorst was enough to carry it home anyway. And that was where the next couple of goals would come from for Canada. At edge of the area, they found creases all night to take the shots. Struggled to beat Walcott early on, and then finally they do so twice. Here's the next one from Jourde, again top of the box, same top corner of the goal. That one freezes Walcott, nothing she could do. Jourde perfectly places it with power. That made it 4. And then some luck for Canada. Once again, well, you could call it luck or you could call it good positioning and a goal scorer's mentality. The ball fell in front for Kayla Novak, and she was able to put it home after this scramble in front. Just waiting on the doorstep to knot it in after it hit the post off the header from Smith. 2 goals like that in this one. The first one for Ward in the first half, the second one for Novak in the second half, which means that she has now scored in 2 separate Concacaf Women's U20 Championships as one of the stars for Canada back in 2020 as well. That one, the exclamation point to make it 5-0 in the 90th minute and give Canada the victory in the group. The first place team in Group G, a perfect 3-0, outscoring team 16-0. look at the final stats in this one. Canada, 37 shots. 15 saves were made by Walcott for Trinidad. Possession 80-20. Everything goes Canada's way. A dominant performance all around in the entirety of the group stage for Canada. They find themselves in first place and a meeting next in the round of 16 with the Cayman Islands. But the way the bracket sets up, Canada could meet the United States in the semifinal. So only one of those two teams will make it to the final if all goes to plan up until that semi. And all eyes are on that potential quarterfinal matchup as well. El Salvador could be the Canadian opponent in that quarterfinal. They played a very tight one when they met in the group stage, so could be a rematch there. Canada, El Salvador, St. Kitts and Nevis go through here in Group G. One more day of group play on the horizon before we get into the knockout stages here in the 2022 Concacaf Women's U20 Championships. At the end of the day, we saw a win for El Salvador against St. Kitts and Nevis, and a big win for Canada over Trinidad and Tobago. That'll do it for us here today from Estadio Panamericano in San Cristobal, Dominican Republic, for this Group G conclusion here in the 2022 CONCACAF Women's U20 Championship. We're back for more tomorrow. This is Joe Malfa signing off.